Over the course of a suspension unit's life, the damper and spring will expand and contract millions of times as the vehicle travels over different road surfaces. Worn shock absorbers can cause issues such as increased stopping distances, poor handling, vague steering, and uneven tyre wear. In this video, we replace the front and rear shock absorbers on a very common light commercial vehicle, Volkswagen's T5 Transporter. Starting with the bonnet raised, remove the wiper arms, the weather strip, and then the windscreen plastic panel to reveal the upper fixing points of the front shock absorbers. There are two panels held in by two screws which are part of the bulkhead. After removing the top of the air cleaner to gain access to the one on the right-hand side, take out both panels. Slacken the upper fixings, but do not undo them completely. Loosen the driveshaft retaining nut, push through the driveshaft to ensure it is free in the hub. Then raise the vehicle and remove the wheel. To remove the suspension strut assembly, remove the anti-roll bar link from the strut and the fixing bolts from the hub assembly. Then unclip the brake hose and ABS sensor wire. Remove the two retaining bolts that hold the lower ball joint and swing away the hub assembly, freeing the driveshaft from the hub. After checking the brake and hub assembly is supported, release the strut assembly from the hub using a suitable spreading socket. Remove the upper retaining nut and extract the suspension strut assembly from the vehicle. Phoebe provides a complete repair solution for this featured vehicle. Compress the spring and remove the retaining nut. The suspension unit comprises of a damper unit with a piston protector, bump stop, road spring, suspension strut mounting, and bearing. Upon assembly, ensure any components that are being reused are in good serviceable condition and that all road debris is removed. Compress the road spring, fix the bump stop onto the piston, align the spring seat onto the shock absorber, and insert the piston protector and bearing. Next, align the bearing and mounting onto the spring and damper piston. Attach the retaining nut and tighten, then release the pressure from the compressed road spring. Be sure to inspect the assembly before installing. Reassemble the suspension strut with the new damper, mounting, bearing and protection kit, then fit it to the vehicle. Align the assembly into the upper fixing hole and retain it with the nut. Next, line up the strut with the hub assembly and insert the strut until the stop. Install the two retaining bolts and then refit the brake hose and the ABS sensor wire. Refit the anti-roll bar link and tighten. Refit the drive shaft and lower ball joint. Lower the vehicle and then tighten the upper fixing. Tighten all bolts and fixings to the manufacturer's recommended torque settings. Refit the wheels, tightening the wheel bolts to 180 Newton meters. Then tighten the new drive shaft retaining nut to 200 Newton meters, slacken 180 degrees, then retighten to 200 Newton meters. Refit the air cleaner, bulkhead panels, windscreen plastic panel and wiper arms. Moving to the rear of the vehicle, raise the vehicle, remove the wheels and support the rear axle. Remove the upper and lower retaining bolts for the rear shock absorbers and remove the old units. Install the new shock absorbers, then refit the retaining bolts and tighten to 80 Newton meters plus 90 degrees for the upper and 120 Newton meters plus 180 degrees for the lower bolt. Refit the wheels and tighten to 180 Newton meters. After replacing any steering or suspension component, it is advisable to check the wheel alignment against the manufacturer's settings and adjust as necessary. Finally, road test the vehicle to check for correct operation of the suspension and steering.